What is up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 1, 2, 3. Is this 4, Stanley? Is this episode 4? Oh my God. This is episode 4 of That's whY2K. Jizzy has the floor, season 2. And y'all already know I'm never going to get tired of saying that. Everybody, today we have a very, very, very special guest that's joining me and Stanley. But I'm not going to introduce them. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So whoever wants to go first, come on in, say what's good to the people.
Hi, my name is Josh. I go to JCIB at Shadesville High School. I don't really do much except sleep, but yeah, that's me.
I'm Stanley. You guys probably know me, unless this is your first episode, in which case I go to John Carroll, and I'm a junior, and I'm really excited that we've made it into our second season.
Yeah, I love it. Stanley said you might have seen me in the streets, but really you don't know me. All right, y'all. So Josh, Stanley, welcome. As y'all already know, I'm Nisaa Muhammad. I'm the program specialist at the YWCA Family Resource Center. I'm the mediator. Y'all, it's been a long week. I am the mediator of this conversation. Stanley is our wonderful, our host, and then we have our co-host Josh today. And I promise y'all, this episode is about to be unlike any other, y'all. So I'm super, super excited. Josh, I have a question really quick, because you said where you go to school, and it sounds to me like a bunch of initials. What did you say?
JCIB, which is like Jefferson County International Baccalaureate. IB, it's like IB school.
So really, you just called me educationally broke. That's what I heard. You just said, okay, so he goes to a really smart school for really smart kids. Got it. Okay. Super genius here. Cool beans. Okay. So everybody, really quick, I got to get it out there. The disclaimer for those of you who may not know how we do things. The views and opinions expressed in That's whY2K, Jizzy has the floor, are those of the panelists and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the YWCA Central Alabama or any of its affiliated entities. Everybody got it? So this is our opinion, no one else's. We're speaking from our point of view. So y'all, this month we're talking about something mad important. We're talking about burnout, right? We're talking about what it is, how you deal with it, and the fact that we don't talk about it, which is exactly why I have titled this episode, We Don't Talk About Burnout. No. Y'all not going, no. Y'all didn't watch Encanto?
No, I didn't. No.
Josh, Stanley?
I've seen it.
Why you sound like you don't care?
It was fine. It was good.
I'm not feeling y'all right now. And my 2-year-old niece wouldn't be feeling y'all either, okay? Encanto was that movie. Good job, Disney. All right. So this month, y'all, this month, we're not talking about burnout. Why we don't talk about it. But before we get to that, y'all know we have to do a little something. Typically, we do What's Up With That. There has been big news during Black Women's History Month which is April, y'all. So we're doing shouts to that. And this month, we are shouting out some Black woman history, some Black girl magic, okay? The Justice, because you gotta put the respect on the Justice. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson has been nominated and voted as the first Black woman to sit on the bench as the U.S. Supreme Court's 116th Justice. Y'all, we gotta shout to that. Like, that's amazing. Yeah. How did you feel when you heard it?
To me, it kind of feels unreal,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Both in like it's like a finally thing, but also like, why hasn't it happened before?
Yeah, I was thinking, like, there really haven't been any Black women? That's crazy.
Yeah, no. Like, I remember, like, there was a time where everybody was like boasting Shirley Chisholm because she was like, a politician and all that good stuff. And this is no disrespect at all to the race that she ran, because she did a darn good job. But it's like there was still that wall she met. And so to see again history being made, which is insane, really, as far as the fight has come, it's insane that it's just the first, and y'all done had 116 of these. But the fact that history's been made again, it's like, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yes. Yeah. Did y'all watch the proceedings, like the whole thing, or did y'all see any of it, where like the interrogations, going through her court cases and all that stuff?
Nah, I didn't see any of it.
It was
all I saw was it was like this reaction thing with like her reacting to some of the questions. but that was it.
Yeah. It was brutal. And y'all know I'm not one for politics. If you've seen the episodes, you know, I'll tell you politics is not my thing. But it was brutal. Like they really did try our good sis, but she held her own. So congratulations. All shouts to that. We are super, super proud. What's up, Josh? I saw the moment. What's up?
I looked her up. I did see something on TikTok about it.
Oh, what was TikTok saying?
It was one of the court cases she did. I forgot, it was something about, what was it? It was something about, I think a sex offender, I think.
Oh, yeah. Where they were talking about, like, she gave him the minimum time or something like that. Like, she could have gave him more. Yeah, that I saw that as well. And so I got to researching, y'all, because y'all know if I don't know something, I'm gonna look it up. And apparently they were trying to like say like, oh, why would you like do this? This person is a sex offender. That's a horrible crime, which absolutely. But the thing about it is, if you're going to sit on Supreme Court, like if you're going to be a Supreme Court judge, they do have to rule like unbiasedly. They have to go by the parameters of the law. And that's exactly what she did. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can't have a double standard and be like, oh, you have to do the parameters of the law, no special cases. And then when y'all don't want her in a seat, y'all try to say, well, oh, you did this. You should have thought more like that. But she's supposed to be unbiased. It's supposed to be, here are the parameters. This is what you get. So I feel like she held her own. She did very well. I loved, was it her husband who was like speaking life into her after like a certain instance or something? It was an emotional week for Supreme Court Justice Brown. I'm very happy that she got her flowers. You know, that's really cool. So yes. All right, y'all. This one time at band camp, this is my favorite portion because I've never been to band camp and I always wanted to go. So this is where I get to relive my childhood dream. So we're talking about burnout, y'all. This one time at band camp, so disclaimer, I don't get sick, y'all. Y'all know this. Y'all don't know this. But for those of you who don't know, I'm not a sick person. If I get sick, it's detrimental. And when I say detrimental, I mean we go into the hospital. There's going to be an ambulance bill. You know, might as well put me on the episode of Grey's Anatomy because I'm on my way out. Like, that's literally what it is. And so one time in high school, I had gotten really, really ill to where I passed out at school and I didn't know what was going on. And I was just like, oh, you know, it's probably just, you know, I didn't eat or I didn't do something right. Turns out I was burned out and I was ignoring the signs of it because I didn't recognize them really. I just, you know, thought it was normal to be at high school and carry the load I had. And it caused me to pass out in morning ceremony in front of everybody. It was the most embarrassing thing ever because I was in the front row. And it was horribly embarrassing to have to be carried all the way down the aisle, you know, unconscious. And then the next day, everybody's like, what's wrong with her? So that's my band camp story. One time I didn't know the signs of burnout and I burned out. Who's next?
You want to go, Stanley, or me?
Okay, I can go. So this one time at band camp, this was like sixth grade. And we were having like exams. And so this was like sixth grade. So like, I didn't know that like middle school work wasn't like, you know, going to be on your record and like, it wasn't going to matter. And so I was like all into it. I was studying really hard. And I was like, and then one time my friend was like, you know, this doesn't, after you get out of the eighth grade, none of this carries over. And it rocked my world. So that was a rough week. That was a rough week.
Oh, you studied for nothing. You were like, why am I doing this? I'm sorry. Are you still a good student? Like, even though
it was, oh my gosh, that week.
I'm so sorry, because I could just see a little Stanley with his glasses on, just stressed out. Like, why don't I understand these equations? These timetables are so stressful. And your friend is like, dude, relax. We get a clean slate in eighth grade. Okay, band camp story from Stanley. Thank you. Josh, what is your band camp story about burnout?
My story is in like sixth grade too. I went from fifth grade to sixth grade. I went to the IB middle school, right? So it was basically like jumping a grade. So we had so much homework. And I remember just crying because of how much homework I had. That's my burnout story. But yeah.
Thinking y'all crying in the sixth grade? Yeah, but you've been in smart people school all your life, Josh.
I'm tired of it.
You better know. So like, this sounds really, I guess, silly. Did y'all like, what was that like in middle school? Like, cause I can only imagine, we was coloring and kicking it and, people still eating glue in the 6th grade. Why? I have no idea, but they were doing it. So in IB, it was like dinners with the president and teas and things. Or...
Yeah, we met the president. No, it was basically just like going from like 5th grade to like 7th grade. Cause you're doing pretty much advanced classes and pretty much everything. So I feel like, luckily though, because it was a new school, like it had just opened up that year, they couldn't go like that hard because they had to get students. So the level of like education had to be low, but like it was still a lot more work compared to like 5th grade. I was like an all A student. I had to study for the first time in 6th grade. Like that was crazy.
Wow. JCFBI, I'm gonna get y'all for making Josh cry. Don't be making Josh cry. Little FBI school making you cry. That is not cool at all. Man, I couldn't imagine because I do remember 5th grade. 5th grade was a ball. We had field day like twice a week. 5th grade was fun for me. I think the first time I had to cry in school was maybe 8th grade because they came back and told us like, oh, the math you took, or 9th grade, because they're like, oh yeah, the math you took last year doesn't count. You have to take it again. And I was like, y'all, but I struggled through that class. Like I struggled. Y'all gave me algebra and I was on my way out the door. I was trying to contemplate if high school was for me at that point. What do you mean I have to do it again? So I relate to that point, that whole crying. They made me cry plenty of times. All right, y'all. So we're talking burnout. So I don't want Webster's dictionary. I want your dictionary. I want your definition. What do you think of when someone says burn? Like, I'm burnt out. If I said Josh Stanley, I'm burnt out. I'm done. Like, what is your definition of burnout? And anybody can go.
I think it's like when you at the mental point where anything you do feels like extreme work. Like I could be filling out a survey and then feel like I'm writing a 4-page essay. Like it feels like everything you're doing is, you're at the point where everything you're doing is just tedious and tiring and boring.
Amen.
Yes. I think burnout, and I think like that feeling of like having to like search for like 20 minutes for a reason to get up.
Yeah.
That's like I think burnout, and I think, do I really need to? What if I just took the 0?
What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that can happen? It's just 1 0. It's still early in the year.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is a perfect definition. If I had to define burnout, I'm gonna borrow from both y'all's definition. Everything is tedious, even like stuff that you need to do, like brush your teeth. Like, no, that's extra. Like that's extra work, And it's like, oh, you have to be up at 8:30. Okay, I'm gonna set an alarm for 6 so I can lay around until 7:45 because I just need that time. So burnout is when you have nothing left. You have nothing. Like you can't even pretend to have something left. Like when people talk to you, for me, it's when people are talking to me and I hear nothing. And it could be the most important. You could be giving me the combination to the safest safe. You could be telling me how to find the Statue of Liberty with Nicolas Cage. I don't know if you ever seen National Treasure, but you be telling me, and I literally would just be here like, And the next minute, somebody's like, oh, what were you talking about? What nobody talking to me? What are you talking about? Because I didn't hear any of it. I'm burnt out. I can't process any more words. So that's burnout for me. And it gets very real. But Webster's definition, right? Because, we like to give y'all some real definitions sometimes, audience. You're welcome. That's another Disney song if y'all never saw Moana. I'm not even going to ask if y'all saw it, Josh, because you laughing. And Stanley, look at you. You saw Moana? Stanley?
I saw Moana.
Okay. So we respect Moana more than we do Encanto.
I mean, you got Dwayne The Rock Johnson in there. Yeah. I'm just saying, like.
That's the point. The man is a WWE legend. I'll give you that. But Encanto was a good story. It had very good moral lessons in it. Very good moral lessons.
Yeah, I might have to watch The Magic House.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's really good. And Turning Red was cute too, but we'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. So Webster says that burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion that is caused by excessive and prolonged stress, right? So it occurs when you feel overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and unable to meet constant demands. The thing that sticks out to me here is the excessive and prolonged stress, meaning we were stressed already and we just kept letting stress pile up and pile up and pile up until eventually we was like, you know what? What if I took a zero? Like, how bad would that zero be this week? So yeah, that's the official definition of it. And I think both of y'all did really good. Like y'all basically gave the definition in your own words. Absolutely. So let me ask y'all this, because y'all are both high school students, right? Josh, you are a senior next year, right?
Yeah.
Counting down, ain't you?
Every day. Count every day.
How many days you got left, Josh?
Man, I ain't counting. I got May, and then I got August, September. I got one school year, so that's like what 180 days.
Okay.
210. I got like 210 days left, something like that.
He's been a smart school his life. The audience is over here. Why do I keep looking over here? No one's over here. Anyways, I think my teddy bear think I'm talking to him or something. Relax before you come to life. Audience, he's been a smart school his life, so we know that Josh knows what he's talking about. He's got 210 days left. Stanley, I always get it wrong because I always put you up higher than you are, like as far as grade goes. You're a junior this year, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when the new school year comes, you'll be a senior?
I will be a senior.
No, thank you. We want you to stay a junior. I'm not ready for you to grow up. No, thank you.
I'm in this like weird limbo right now because like I am not ready for like senior year and like last homecoming and like the last football game. But like I need junior year to stop. I need summer to roll around real quick.
Stanley, have I known you since you were a freshman? Is that when you did the youth summit, right? You were a freshman.
I think I was a sophomore.
Okay, you had just became a sophomore.
Yeah, I was just a sophomore.
I need you to stop growing, man. Like y'all need to slow down because the more y'all age, the more I age, and I can't claim 25 forever if y'all keep aging. Okay. So we have two young gentlemen who are almost out of high school, and they're at the I don't want to say the detrimental point because that's terrifying to say, but y'all are an important part of your high school experience because this is college application time, this is ACT time, this is prom time. Josh, you go to a school where it's IB. Stanley, you do every activity under the sun, like curing cancer and documentaries and like all of that fun stuff. So you all have a lot on your plates, right? So when like right now, what is the difference between now and when school had first went virtual? Because right now you all are back in school, right? So how does it feel now? So let's think about March 2020. They're like, hey, we're shutting this thing down. Everybody gets a laptop. What was your reaction then when they were like, everybody gets a computer and you get to go home?
I was so happy. That might have been my favorite school moment ever. I'm talking about like, bro, in the night, we didn't have to go March. From March to down, we had to go to school. It was so fun. They added another month and another month.
He was like,
eventually, I wanted to go back to school, but like, it was so fun when it started.
I mean, we still had to do like schoolwork and stuff, but I mean, like when you think about it, it was like the longest summer vacation of our lives because like we didn't have to go to school. The work was less because nobody knew what they were doing. Like everybody was taken so off guard. Like honestly, like we were supposed to like I think like the week after we left, we were supposed to like dissect a squid or something. Never happened.
And you're okay with that? You're like, I'm good.
Because I remember like when it was first starting like in across the world, we were joking about it. Like whenever someone coughed, we were joking about like, well, you got COVID. And now if you cough for real, everybody worries. So like
now everybody like, you good? Yeah. So y'all were relieved. Y'all were like, cool, we get to kick it. We got computers. Man, to be a high schooler, because I was like, who's gonna sign my checks? What am I gonna do? Like, who's gonna eat? Like, what's happening here if I don't have a job? And then, but then I realized there were pros to that. Nobody was outside when I wanted to go to the store. I was like, this is kind of nice, this is kind of cool. But then someone would cough in the store and I was back concerned. And there was no toilet paper. That was a concern for me too. Okay, so when it first happened, you were good. Was there a point where you ever hit like a wall where you were like, you know what? I'm actually kind of sick of these computers. I'm sick of these online classes. Do I really need high school right now? Like, I could be a TikToker. I could do that. Did you ever hit that point?
Me? No, not really. I don't think so. I was always enjoying it because at the very least, during classes, me and my friends, we would be on the game, PlayStation playing the game. I know 2020 summer, we used to live stream on this app called Yubo. That was fun. So like we always had something to do. I feel like I never really got tired of it. I got tired of coming back though.
Okay. I love it. What about you, Stanley?
Yeah, like socially, I was definitely not. I didn't get tired of it like socially, but like school wise, though, I was fine during the school year, getting up early and going to school, but getting out of bed for like an 8 a.m. Zoom call, that was bad. I didn't like that.
Yeah, and the teachers were probably like cameras on and no, make sure you got on your best uniform shirts and all that fun stuff and all that. Yeah.
And then like there were classes where you'd like have to stay behind, like if the teacher thought you weren't paying attention.
Are you serious?
I'm so serious.
God forbid my computer goes out. Then what are you gonna do, teach? Did you guys hear about that little boy? It was a young man. I don't remember where he was particularly, but basically he's a super genius too. And during quarantine, he had decided that he was tired of going to school. And so he hacked into the computers. The school's like, how the school has the assigned laptops. So he hacked into it and turned the internet off for all the computers. All of them, to the point where the FBI got involved and they traced it back to his computer. And they made him take like all these STEM classes and build a computer from the ground up, basically as like his punishment. And they were like, okay, so clearly you're bored. We need to do something else to you. And I was just like, I can see like getting bored enough that you want to be like, hey, let's just see what this does. If I push this button, boop, Okay. So we got Stanley was like, that 8 a.m. Zoom call thing wasn't it. And then Josh was just like, I was kicking it the whole time.
Enjoying my life.
You enjoyed it. So now that you're back, like when they first was like, okay, we're going back to school, the reactions, what were they?
I realized I low-key became an introvert. So like now I'm back to my normal self of being more extroverted. But like beginning of the year, I was more like introverted. I didn't really want to talk to nobody. My voice became quieter. Yeah, like I became more introverted. Yeah.
Okay. I can attest to that because when you first came around, Josh is one of our crew cousins. And so when you first were in crew, you were very much like to yourself, very quiet. And then like, as the months rolled around, clowning, wilding, trying to get people in trouble on college tours, acting like it wasn't you. I peeped all that. Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Stanley? So when they were like, yeah, we're going back to school, get your backpack, get your 8 a.m., let's do this. How was that for you?
Oh man, it was weird for me because like we had left in such a hurry, and so like I didn't feel like a sophomore. I felt like a freshman who was like taking sophomore classes and doing sophomore things, but I didn't like feel like a sophomore. You know what I mean? Like I didn't feel like freshman year ever ended.
Oh wow! So you were a freshman. What is that? What they call it? A freshman is like the kids who went to college for their sophomore year because they had to do their freshman year at home because of COVID. You were a freshman. Okay, awesome. Now, was the workload more tedious? Because I know a lot of times I speak to students and they're like, oh yeah, we came back and they're throwing stuff at us and they're like, Schoology, and they're like turning this assignment and turning that one. What was the workload like for you when you came back from COVID?
It was so lenient for online school. Like you could have a late assignment in December and you could still turn it in like March. Now I got used to that. So now when I'm back now, like when the deadline's coming in, it's like, wow, like, I have to turn this in right now.
Like, oh, this is real. You meant that. You meant Monday for real. Yeah. So they really piling it on. What about you, Stanley? Like, were the deadlines more tedious? Was it hard getting back into the swing of having school and extracurriculars?
It was interesting because, like Josh was saying, the deadline thing, that was kind of weird to adjust to. But it was also weird to adjust to the fact that like sitting in class for a lecture for like that 40 minutes or whatever, that was weird because like we just didn't do that during online school, because it was like they gave you all your work and they gave you all the information, but like sitting in class and then going from class to class to class to class, it was kind of exhausting.
That's where the burnout came in. Like, you mean I gotta walk these halls? How dare you? So that was the biggest adjustment for you all, is like kind of trying to figure out, you know, the timelines for getting your work in, and then of course walking. I agree with that. Y'all know I don't like any type of exercise. I agree. Okay. So that's what's up. So let me ask you, do you all think, and this is a safe place to say it, do you think that schools have handled, and not even particularly your school, but maybe like your friends who go to other schools or whatever, do you think they've kind of handled the coming back and the understanding, like where you all are mentally as far as like the adjustment period? Do you think they've handled that well for you all, to where it's not stressing you out or making you feel like, oh, y'all get on my nerves now, like that type of thing?
I think they might have did as with the cards they were dealt, I guess. You know, when school started coming back, it wasn't that bad. So yeah, I think they did pretty good. Yeah,
I love that. That's what's up.
Yeah, I think, and any issues that were there, like them not recognizing what we were going through, I think that's because like teachers were going through like a lot. Because like I think it was rough for teachers especially.
Yeah, I like that. And I like that you can honor that, like that teachers went through a lot as well. I feel like when the COVID situation happened and they had to shut down, parents had to become teachers, and they were like, wait a minute, my kid is not what I thought my kid was. Wait a minute, let's talk about this. Especially if like your kids were younger. You're like, how do I teach a first grader the ABCs? And they don't care about these ABCs. They just want snack time. So yeah, shout out to the teachers. Y'all really held it down. Like really, y'all really did. Getting on the computer when y'all didn't feel like it, trying to figure out how to make it work. And really the whole stretching the deadlines thing, I think that's really dope. My only regret is that I wasn't in school during the time to get the deadline stretches, because I'm the procrastination queen, y'all. Y'all have no idea. Like, I really am. So now we know school really isn't like a I don't want to say a burden or a stressor, but what is it that stresses you all out now? Like, what is that thing that kind of makes you feel like this takes too much effort, maximum effort? It's a lot.
School. Like,
School.
I gotta wake up every morning and go to school just so I can get enough credit to go to school some more. Like, this is really like, I don't know, like we really need, I don't know, like we need to fix this. We need to figure out like a new solution, do something, because like, I don't know.
Okay. Stanley, school.
School big time. I mean, like, I think back to like elementary school. Like that was still school. And like elementary school, like for, I don't know, I guess like single digits me was hard. And now this is hard. Like, I wish I could go back in time and tell my past self that it does not get, like, the workload does not get easier.
Not at all. Not at all. And I'm sorry to inform you that you're going to school to go to school to get a job to pay for the school that you went to. I'm sorry. It's just not it. School is always going to be right here. Okay. Literally, that's what you're going to school to go to school, and then you're going to get a great job that you love
To pay for school,
and you're going to have to go to that job every day, and there's no vacation, there's no breaks, there's no fun. Think I have fun? No fun. So yeah, school is that, I think it is one of those things where like no matter what it is, it's going to burn you out. Because even like when you get older, right? If you decide, okay, cool, maybe I paid off my student loans. If you guys have kids or nieces or nephews or siblings, you're going to be helping them with what? School. It's always school. So Josh, your mission, if you choose to accept to save the world, is to figure out a better system, because it's not working for us. We're not enjoying this right now, okay, at all.
Elon Musk with that microchip.
You know what I'm saying? Figure out a way to maybe make it cost a little less to go to college. You know what I'm saying? Like figure that out because my guy, it's stressful. It is. It is. Every time Biden talks, I'm hoping he's saying we're canceling all student loans. He never does. He never does. And that is a burnout for me. It is. I hate it. I can't take it. So let me ask you all. You all are high schoolers. You're young people. Even though I'm young too, audience. Okay, you're young people. What is the common misconception? Don't laugh at that, Stanley. What's the giggle? He what? So you all are younger people. So if you've ever, and I'm not saying like a parent or a peer, but if you've ever said to someone like, "Oh, y'all, I'm stressed out, I'm tired, I'm burnt out," what type of reactions do you get when you say those things?
Everyone around me is burnt out.
Okay. Someone tells you like everybody's tired.
No, they don't say it. Like IB school, everybody is burnt out. Like you can't find a single person who is enjoying their time at school right now. So I feel like it's comforting to have people like that who are like, man, I'm burnt out too. Like this is stressful because it's rough. It's rough.
Okay. Josh said it's comforting. Everybody's here with me. What about you, Stanley?
I would totally agree. Like my chemistry class, we have become like tight knit because of like the struggle. So that's been really great. But it can get like really frustrating when you're trying to tell someone about like how stressed you are and all the stuff you have to do. And then like they'll cut you off to talk about how much worse everything is for them and how you shouldn't even be talking about this. And you just need to just let it go.
Oh, that's irritating. Like, this is my moment. I need to tell you how I feel about this. So you all find comfort knowing that, like, yeah, I'm not the only one struggling here. Like, there's some solidarity. But what do you do? Like, when I was growing up, I know we were children. So we weren't allowed to be stressed because all we had to do was go to school essentially. So when I was like, Mom, I'm tired, I'm stressed out, she would be like, you need to stress them dishes. And I'm like, I don't want to, I'm tired. You know, or they'd be like, you don't do nothing but go to school. Like, do you ever have those moments with older people in your lives, maybe a teacher? Or for me, also my grandmother, love her to death, but her thing was like, you don't do nothing to be tired. You don't got no children. I'm like, but girl, these grades, this 1.0 GPA is not making itself. Okay, I'm struggling. I had a 2.8, y'all, not for real 1.0, okay? I did something in school. But like, is there any adult in your life or anyone really, when you tell them you're tired, you're stressed out, and they're not as receptive to the idea of it because they believe you're just young and school isn't that stressful?
I've heard people say it don't get better or like stuff like that, but I don't think anyone's be like, oh, you're not stressed necessarily. No. They'll be like, it don't get better.
They say it don't get better or it does?
Not at all.
They give you the harshness of reality because, yeah, it gets rough. What about you, Stanley?
When I think about that, I think it's like an idea that doesn't like, I don't know, it doesn't circulate a lot with like people talking about it, but it's like something that's like ingrained kind of in us as students, where we're like less willing to almost, I don't know, ask for help or do less because we think that like, you know, this isn't that big of a deal. I mean, everybody else has more important stuff going on. This is fine.
Oh, wow. So it's almost like you all kind of just grin and bear it because you kind of feel like maybe it's not that big of a deal to other people. That's interesting. So like what way could people help? Like the people in your lives, if you're like, you know, because I y'all know I have younger brothers and stuff like that. So if they are feeling stressed or burnt out and I want them to know, like, you know, come and talk to me or whatever, what are some ways that we can kind of be like, let me help you or let me assist you outside of just saying, oh, it'll be all right, or guess what, life will suck forever. Like, how do we help y'all with that? Because I mean, y'all dealt with something we've never dealt before. We didn't have to go to school during COVID. We didn't have to figure out our lives all over again in that way. We didn't get to feel like freshmen our sophomore years and all that. So how can we help, like, for real?
I think for me, it like comes down to like, you know, for me, whenever I'm stressed, I either have like two options. It's like I can either not do the work, right, and take a break, or I can like like get through it and do the work, like structure it out, and then have that time later.
Okay.
What can other people? I don't know what other people can do. Really, I guess not pressure me to continue to do it if I'm stressed out. Because I know me, if I'm stressed out, I'm gonna be asleep. So don't wake me up if I'm stressed. Don't wake me up. Let me sleep, and then I'll get to it. But like, I don't know what I guess necessarily anyone can do. I guess maybe like, how are you doing? How can I help you? Stuff like that. I guess. But like, I don't know if I would answer that. I might be like, I'm good.
Y'all take on a lot, and like y'all and it seems like, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, so it seems like you all internalize a lot and just kind of keep it to yourselves and just kind of push through. I don't know if I like that for y'all, because we're gonna go back up to this definition, right? I'm just gonna go back up because that's what I'm gonna do. Burnout is the state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion. I mean, y'all tired, okay? Caused by excessive, that mean a lot, and prolonged stress. That means y'all keep stuffing it inside. Yeah. So what? I guess that's wild to me. So I guess my question now is like, do you all feel trapped in that? Like you're not allowed to come out of it and just express like, look, I'm good on this. I don't want to do this. I'm over it. Or is it just like how does that work for y'all? Because I know when I'm done, I shut down. We ain't doing nothing today.
I don't know. If I'm stressed out, I won't do nothing. That's true. So it's not really like it's not like a stuffing in thing. It's more like a I'm gonna do it myself kind of thing, you know. Laissez-faire, as I say.
Okay. Y'all are cool. Y'all are, and I say that in the sense of like y'all, because y'all are aware of that. I think that's mad cool where y'all could just be like, this is how we kind of rock it out. This is how we do it. So shout to y'all. Shout to y'all for real. So what's the biggest misconception for Gen Z, which is what you all are, because we millennials over here. You know what I'm saying? I would show you how to Harlem Shake, but y'all know nothing about that. Y'all already took the jerk and turned it into something else. We're not gonna go there. Yeah, because the jerk is actually the reject, but we're not gonna give y'all that history lesson today because that's gonna age me. So what is the biggest misconception when it comes to you all and your stress levels, or how you all manage stress, or even when you talk about stress that you have heard? I've heard people say like Gen Z is, y'all overshare or y'all tend to do things for attention, which I disagree with. I think you all are actually just a little more open with, talking about what bothers you in that way. So what is the misconception there for you all when people are talking about you and the way y'all handle things?
A lot of stuff sometimes. I guess a misconception would be like, for us, I know like people around me, we do like a lot of dark humor. Like you might joke around, like say like I'm depressed, something like that, but you might not be depressed. It's not like it's dark humor. That might be a misconception.
Okay.
The way we joke around, it's like a lot different. Because I remember my teacher, her hearing us joke around, she was like, I sometimes I'll be worried that I have to report this, So like I know like we joke around a lot about like stuff that I guess other people might not joke around about. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. You all have some very morbid humor. I've heard some things and I just be like, okay, I'm just gonna put that in my pocket, keep an eye on it. What about you, Stanley? What's the biggest misconception for you all?
I would totally agree with that dark humor thing. That just like sent me back to like last year when we were in history class, and our history teacher was telling us about this. He was some poet that like died in this war or something, and we just like laughed and laughed and laughed like it was the funniest thing in the world. And he just stood there like he had never, like he couldn't imagine what could be funny about it. So definitely that. But also just like I guess it's like just a general teenager thing. Like when we're like stressed, or like when we're not doing stuff because we're stressed, it's because like we're lazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not that I'm lazy, it's that I've been doing too much.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I feel like people don't give you all the credit. They're just like, oh, it's just school. But it's like, once upon a time, Momo, you was in school and you was tired too, back when all y'all had was reading, writing, arithmetic. Now they got shapes and invisible numbers and they carrying the twos over the threes. And I done seen y'all's new math. That's stressful. And you talk about dissecting squares. We didn't dissect nothing in school. One, because my school couldn't afford to do that. Two, we was too rowdy. If we was going to have anything to dissect, we was going to throw it at each other. Y'all really have like, y'all be doing some stuff, man. Like I look at my brother's curriculum and I just be like, at this point, you could build a spaceship and fly it yourself because what is this? You know what I mean? Like y'all really do, y'all have a different type of education system. And it's amazing to me. Like even my kindergarten cousin, like, sorry, where's the homework instructions? And he's like, oh, you have to find the word that matches the sound, but it doesn't have the same this or that. And I was like, y'all don't color no more. That's not a thing. So when y'all say y'all tired from schoolwork, I literally just like, I understand. You take a break. Would you like a cookie? You deserve a cookie because y'all's work is like nothing I've ever seen before. And it almost makes me feel like, was I getting the wrong education out here? Like, what was y'all teaching me? You know, so I definitely think that when they say you all are lazy, it's a huge misconception, because y'all are some of the brightest that we've ever had, and y'all come up with like solutions versus just having problems, right? And speaking of misconceptions, did any of you watch or like were you tuned into anything as far as the news or social media plugged in when like all of the riots were happening when George Floyd was murdered? Because you know that was around quarantine time as well. Every city in the world downtown was basically on fire, being rioted, whatever the case may be. Hopefully none of y'all was out there trying to be ride or dies. You know what I mean? Because I get it, fight the good fight, but y'all too young for that right now. Y'all don't need to be out there in the mix of it. But were any of you all like seeing the things on social media and TV, like taking that in constantly, accidentally or on purpose?
Hold
Bless you.
I mean, yeah, that's all that was on like social media at the time. You know, that was everything. You open YouTube, well, not YouTube, but it was on YouTube. You open Google, all the like recommended is like riots, like Philadelphia, so that. So yeah, I seen it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like you couldn't get away from it almost, because like it was everywhere on the news, it was everywhere on social media, it was everywhere like on YouTube. It was what everybody was like talking about. It was like that was it.
Yeah. Like, was that exhausting for you all to kind of see, especially as young Black men? Because it's always like the attacks and injustices against Black men, it is more noted on TV, it's more put out there. So was that like an exhausting thing for you all? Like if you're scrolling down TikTok trying to get a laugh and then somebody's on there like, but look at this, pay attention to this, the world is in trouble. You're just like, look, yo, I just want to giggle. Like, was that overwhelming or was that stressful?
I mean, sometimes I feel like you have to see it though, because like I feel like with George Floyd, even though it was on camera, I don't know for sure if the man would have been like charged if it wasn't like if everybody wasn't knowing about it, you know. So I feel like sometimes you got to see it, but I would say it did get a little excessive.
Yeah.
I want to laugh at my TikToks. You feel me?
Yeah.
I totally agree, because like the fact that we were in a pandemic where people couldn't just like ignore what happened to George Floyd allowed all the positive, if you can even say positive, consequences of Derek Chauvin's actions to happen. But like at the same time, seeing like the videos of Black people get like killed and just like running across that in the middle of your day, it's like a train derailment.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember like that happened, and then like Kobe Bryant had just died, and so it was like we were constantly being hit with stuff, you know what I mean? And then everybody's just like, oh yeah, we know this is going on, but don't forget you got to go to work, don't forget you got to go to school, don't forget you got to pay a bill, and we know you can't afford to do that right now, so here's $1,200, but it might not get to you, but also don't forget you got to do this and you got to do that. And I just remember thinking like, yo, can we turn this off? Like, can we just take a break? Can we breathe? Like, can we just get a moment of peace? But I feel like everything from TV to Netflix to Hulu or whatever, it was like heavy stuff. You know what I mean? Like nothing was light or airy anymore. I felt like even the humor, because I do, y'all, I have some dark humor from time to time. Y'all don't get to see it because you're seeing me, I'm in a professional setting. But I'm a human being. Sometimes I have dark humor, but I felt like any type of humor was, I don't know, like it was to be restricted because times were so serious. And I feel like that almost gave me compassion fatigue in a way. And I don't know if you guys have heard that expression basically, but it's almost like where you're tired of being sad, you're tired of being sorry, you're tired of seeing just so much sad stuff, to the point where my grown self is watching Powerpuff Girls at 2 a.m. because I need something that has no context to it. I needed something because it was like, I remember seeing that and seeing that brought back for me, Trayvon Martin's situation, that was like the first for me that I remember being super, super huge. And it was like, you followed it, you saw it everywhere. It was talked about to the point where, and we were in school at the time, to the point where it became a history lesson. And there were like race riots in school. And I just remember like shutting down from people because I'm like, this is too much. Like, I actually don't want to talk to none of y'all. Y'all are all irritating, actually. Everybody's getting on my nerves. And so at this point in time, when COVID happened, and you see the George Floyd, you see the people, and even the internet activists, as I like to call them, the people who, if they tweet, they feel like I've done the work. They were getting on my nerves with the dissertation. And so I had compassion fatigue for a while, and I was burnt out from all things that had to do with just like anything that meant communication. So like Josh said, he became an introvert. I became a tortoise. I didn't come out my shell. I was in that shell and I liked it there. Don't talk to me. Like at that point, I understood Thanos when he snapped his fingers and what a certain amount of people gone. I was like, you know what? I'm not mad at you, my guy. I get where you're coming from. Too many people doing too many stupid things. So yeah. What'd you say, Josh?
Thanos was really a good guy if you think about it.
Yeah, like it was a lot. It really was. And I don't know, like for you all, like was that a part of being overwhelmed for you? Like if you go like when you were saying it, because I know when it was going on, my mom was like, I'm grown. I'm good and grown, y'all. I've been paying taxes a while. My mother was even like, well, you can't leave the house. You don't need to be going here. You can't go there. And I'm like, all I want to do is go to the park and breathe some air. But then it was like, you can't go to the park because COVID. Put your mask on when you're outside. And so I had life fatigue, I guess you could call it. Did you all experience that at all?
I think so, yeah. My mom was like a little worried about COVID whenever I tried to go somewhere with my friends. Yeah, I experienced a little bit of that. But I still went out places sometimes.
Jealous.
But not a lot though. I was still inside a lot. But like the times that I did want to go places, I still went. Like I know I went bowling a few times. I might go to my friend's house,
You'd have thought I was 15 and a half years. She had me locked down in this joint. I was like, Ma, I got a job. I don't care. You got a temperature, Mother. I don't have a temperature. I've been outside running. Like I'm bored. So I think that's what's up, that you got a little breathing room. What about you, Stanley? Did you experience any type of COVID quarantine fatigue? Any type of, I'm constantly seeing riot fatigue, any type of, what do they call it? Cabin fever?
Oh, cabin fever. Almost kind of big time, yeah. Because like I remember I started off in the pandemic not wanting to like I don't like running, like in general. I think unless you're like trying to specifically get in shape for a specific reason, I'm not big on running. I don't maybe it's the asthma, maybe it's something else. I don't know. But running, but I remember during the pandemic I actually got kind of into running because I was like, I need to get out of the house. So definitely that. But when I think of like with all the riots and stuff, I definitely felt kind of the burnout from that, especially when people were like, when everyone had an opinion about everything and everyone was trying to share their opinion about everything, that got exhausting fast because it was like everyone thought that they had the new hot take on racism and it didn't.
I like how you said the new hot take. Like everybody was like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but let me solve this case for you. And it's like, there's no case to solve. Like, this is a wrong situation. The man shouldn't have, he shouldn't have been killed. Everything else is null and void, I think for me, I was also tired of like, do you ever notice whenever something goes down like race wise, like even when the people were jumping the wall back in January or whatever in the down in DC, like the minute the streaming sites are like, here are the Black voices and the Black stories, and it's always like a movie where like a 12 Years a Slave or a Django or something like that, and it's like, can we get a Black Panther, please? Like, can we get a good breathing moment show? Like, Static Shock. I know y'all don't know what that is, but can we get something like that? And it's like, no, here's this Roots movie. Enjoy all 14 of these movies where it's stressful as all get out even more. And that's really what I wished. I wish that when they gave us movies, it was like, more relaxing, more calming. So that was me. So let me ask you all this. What does stress look like for you as young men? Like, what is it to be stressed as young men? I know for a girl, it's just like, life at this point, but for you all, what does it look like? What does it entail? Is it just like, my hair's not right, or I'm not, I don't know. What are y'all stressed about? This is a safe space. Like, what are the stresses for y'all?
I feel like stresses for me. Stresses. What I get stressed about?
Josh too cool, y'all. He like nothing.
I don't know what except like school. I feel like school just make me tired. I guess that's my stress. I get tired. Sometimes I might get irritable. Like after a long day, I'm like, bro, leave me alone. I don't know. Sometimes, yeah, that's I guess I'll get irritable. I like to go on walks with my dog. That's what I do.
So when you say your dog, you mean like an actual pet, not a person, right? That's not like a slang colloquialism. Okay. Because, I'm like, yeah, that's my dog. And I'm like, what's your puppy's name? No, this is my friend. Like, this is a human. They got 2 legs. Okay. So you walk with your dogs and all that. So not like the idea of like, I don't know, your future or none of that. Like you like cool with that.
I'm an in the present kind of person. Like the future, I'm worried about it right now because right now messing me up. So thinking about college, I'll think about college next year. And then I'll think about my classes in college the year after that. So, I'm trying to get through now.
I know that's right. I like that motto. Josh said, I'll stress when it's time. Don't give me no pre-stress. No warm-ups for stress, please. I like that. I need to adopt that motto because I'm stressed about next year already. But there's a letter I wrote 15 years ago that I'm supposed to open next year, and I'm ready for next year so I can open it. Y'all, I know, right? It's a dumb thing to stress over. But I'm a woman. These are things I stress about. What? Don't laugh at me. What about you? What does stress look like for you? And Stanley, you do a lot. Like you are doing a documentary for Tulsa, Oklahoma. You're in band, you're the mic drop king, you're going to be president someday. So like, what is you? I'm just convinced that at some point I'm going to see your name on the ballot. I'm prepared to vote for you. I really am. What does stress look like for you?
Honestly, for me, this is kind of insane. This is like absolutely nuts. But stress for me is like when I have like free time and I'm trying to figure out how can I have the most fun in this free time? Because it's like it comes around like it's the craziest thing. But it's like so like on a Saturday when I don't have any work to do and I'll like stress myself out about how can I make like the most effective use of my free time so I can have a lot of fun. And like in 3 days when I'm really actually stressed again, I can be like, well, I had a great Saturday. So yeah.
I love that. So you want to make your memories. You like, what can we do to have a good?
Yeah.
That is what's up, y'all. I think y'all might have cracked the code to figuring out how not to be stressed. It's like YOLO, live in the moment. Wow. And y'all really do. I think that's really amazing because, a lot of times, I mean, y'all heard me tell y'all like, oh, you're here for a good time, not a long time. And, make your memories and seize the day and all that fun stuff. But y'all actually are out here seizing the day. Like y'all are doing what adults tell y'all to do. And I think that's what's up. I might have to adopt this whole mindset of I'll be stressed when it's time and how can I have the most fun in the 3-day weekend? So y'all don't even, like if you've had a week, right? Close your eyes and visualize this for me. Y'all ready? Y'all, this is the week. Monday, you got 4 tests you knew nothing about. You didn't get to study for the test because you left your book at home, okay? That's Monday. So you take the test, you think you did good, but you're not really sure. So you take the test, cool. Then you get to the cafeteria, they don't have nothing that you want to eat in the cafeteria. Black. So that means you ain't even got nothing good to eat. You go to the vending machine, you put your money in, your snack gets stuck, okay? That's Monday. And you miss your bus.
Bro,
So that's Monday. That's Monday. You ready for Tuesday? Tuesday comes. You had another test. Okay, you did fine on that test. But guess what? You left your homework at home. When you call your mom and ask you to bring your homework, your mom says, should have left your homework in the first place. Check your email. The only thing in your email is a rough draft that is only 2 paragraphs long, and it's supposed to be an 8-page paper. You turn that in, you know what you're getting. That's Tuesday. Wednesday, it rained all day, so you didn't have to go to school. All right? When Thursday comes, now you got to make up the test from Wednesday, and you got to do Thursday's test too. All right. And if that's not enough, you know what? You got a substitute, but you don't have a fun substitute. You have a substitute that believes that you all need to do work for the next grade level. They're not impressed with what you're doing, so they write your name down on the board and they got to report for your teacher. Friday is finally here. And on Friday, y'all still with me? On Friday, you have a game that you want to go to. Maybe you're playing in it. Maybe you just want to go support your friends. Guess what? You don't got your ticket money. So then you go to get your ticket money, get in the game. The officer who usually lets you in is being nice. He's not being so nice this time. If you're supposed to be on the field, your uniform is all dirty, murky, and your coach says, you know what? You can't play. Furthermore, it starts to rain. And you got dropped off to this game, so now you got to wait for your ride in the rain. Saturday comes. You telling me you don't want to just lay in the bed and sleep? At that point, y'all still want to go out and do stuff?
I'm asleep.
Okay.
But
It's not. It's giving a 12 o'clock wake up.
12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, wake up.
Mhm.
But y'all still go do stuff.
Yes, I'm doing some. My weeks be like that. I'm going to a game tomorrow. But I feel like being with people outside of school, I feel like that's a stress reliever and stuff. You know, hanging out, doing something that's not taking tests, taking notes. Cause that's all bro, taking notes, bro. I'm tired of taking notes. Anyways,
Just no more notes.
doing stuff like going out playing the game, playing like paintball or something like that. That's a stress reliever and stuff. So I feel like
Okay. So Stanley, same thing for you. So you've had that type of week. And on Saturday, you wake up at 12 o'clock, maybe even 3 if you're feeling extra, bad and bougie. You wake up at 3 o'clock, maybe have breakfast around 3:30. You out the door at 4 going to do stuff, right?
Oh no. So Josh was talking about like how the pandemic kind of made him an introvert. I did not need the pandemic's help with that. Yeah. I'm thinking a good book or a show that I haven't started yet, and that's it.
Okay. Wow.
Maybe text a friend, call a friend. I'm staying in.
Wow, y'all are amazing. Like when I say I shut down, and I mean y'all been to the office, so y'all know what my week looks like, and y'all did crew, so y'all know what those weeks look like. So imagine that like nonstop, and then we don't just have crew, we have other activities that we do as well. Like this Saturday, y'all, it's gonna be my first Saturday off in like 9 months. I have no idea what to do with myself, but you know what I'm not gonna do? I'm not gonna leave my bed. There will be no communication with the outside world. I'll not exist. But I really like the whole like get up and do something anyway. And I think that might even be a way to combat that feeling of burnout. Because maybe it is like you're giving yourself those endorphins that you need by getting up and doing stuff. Y'all might have just cured something there. I think you all just cured burnout. Right. Look at that. We got the charge for this chat. Yeah. Josh, I see what you Stanley. Okay.
Locked in.
Yeah, y'all just cured y'all heard it here first. Okay. They cured burnout. Y'all didn't think it could be done, but the young people, Gen Z, have done it. All right. We're gonna charge $5.99 per minute for this conversation. Send it to Josh's Cash App and he'll send it to me and Stanley. His Cash App is. No, I'm kidding. Okay, I love that. So for women, I think, well, for me personally, I'll speak from my own personal burnout. For me, it looks like Yeah, I'm a pretty neat person, but burnout for me, I know I'm burnt out when I just take everything and throw it in my closet. That's when I know, because I have no energy to clean up, to put it away. I'll just throw it in the closet and close the doors and convince myself that it is not there. And then at some point it makes its way out of the closet. And I don't know if y'all do this, but it'll just sit on the bed at that point, and I just push it over to one side. And I pretend like it does not exist there as well. And that's when I know I'm burnt out.
Yeah, I most definitely have done that with my laundry though.
Huh?
I've most definitely done that with my laundry though. I have a hoodie on my bed right now.
Yeah. Because it's something about laundry. Like if you don't wash it, fold it, hang it up in that moment, you're gonna sit there. You're gonna sit there.
Right.
Yeah.
This all makes me think of like the idea of like taking a mental health day, which is like so cool and at the same time like almost terrifying to me. Like, you know what I mean? Because like it's kind of like it's not like everybody's taking a mental health day. So like if I take a mental health day on a random Tuesday, I just missed 7 classes.
Yeah.
And it's like now I've got to catch up and do more work to be where I already was.
Yeah. Yeah. The idea of self-care is terrifying. The mental health day. I get you, Stanley. That is terrifying. For me to say I need a day where I don't do anything, that is awfully terrifying. Like in the middle of the week, not like a weekend, but if it's like a Wednesday and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a day for me. That's terrifying because you're constantly thinking about what you have to do still. Yeah. We're conditioned in a terrible way. Josh, Stanley, jump on this. Try to figure out how to make this work. Because, yeah. Do you, like, Josh, have you ever been granted a mental health day at homes where you like get to kind of stay home and kick it?
Oh, I'm not afraid to get behind. That's me. Like yesterday, I didn't do no work yesterday, so I had to catch up today. Like I'm not somebody that's gonna be afraid to get behind. I'm gonna be behind. So
but then you gonna catch up.
I'm gonna catch up. So like I'm gonna be behind.
I love this single-handedly. Y'all are like debunking stress. You're like, there's no such thing, y'all. We stress ourselves out for no reason. So do you all think that we kind of create the stresses in our heads and it really shouldn't be that even? Stanley, I see you nodding. Go ahead.
Yeah, we had, I think it was this week. We had a test. I think it was a chem test. And our teacher was like, it's going to be super easy. It's not even that big of a deal. It's not going to affect your grades that much. I just need to make sure that you guys were understanding what was going on. And we were panicked, okay? We were trying to figure out everything that was going on. We were trying to understand all the concepts. And she kept trying to tell us, no. You don't need to know that for the test, okay? The book don't read that. Don't stop. Calm down. And
relax.
And so the day of the test finally gets there and we're panicked out of our minds and we get there and the questions they're not hard questions. They're like, the math is like addition and subtraction. And we're like, what did we just do? That was my whole week gone.
Stress over test, that's not even that major. That's when you start doing stuff like putting 2 + 2 in the calculator just to be sure. Because maybe y'all change the answer this week. Yeah, we do create stressful situations for ourselves. Absolutely. And I've even, for me, like y'all have road rage. If you've never driven with me, Miss Nisaa has road rage. I'm not the kind, and I have a big old car, y'all know, so I'm not kind on the road. Y'all better get out my way, like Ludacris said. But recently I've been challenged to relax, relate, and release when I'm driving. And it makes being on the road so much more pleasant for me. Like when I'm not screaming or fussing at people or feeling like I have to beat my GPS time, because I do. I feel like, Josh, you feel me? When the GPS is like, you'll be there in 30 minutes, I bet you I can get there in 25. I bet you I can. But when I'm not doing that and I'm just kind of, going with the flow of traffic or whatever, it really does feel like less stress. Or even now, like y'all didn't see this part because we paused it because thank you technology. But my niece burst up in here with her iPad and demanded some Encanto alone time with her TT. That normally would stress me out because, ma'am, I'm trying to work here. But you just take a breather and tell the 2-year-old, I'll play with you in a minute. You can have some time in a minute, and you don't feel like you don't wear a burden that's not yours. You know what I mean? Like you just kind of Okay. It's life, stuff happens. We're good. Like that solidarity you were talking about earlier, where you guys were like, yeah, when everybody's stressed, we're like, we got this. I mean, people burst in sometimes, especially in this digital world we're in now where everybody zooms. So I like what y'all are saying, especially like the whole release your own stress. Like don't put stress on yourself.
Mhm.
I'm taking all the stress off. We ain't stressing no more.
Oh,
We ain't stressing. Unless it's my taxes and the government say they gotta talk to me, then I'm gonna be a little stressed. Just a little bit, because Ooh, I want to talk to them. But yeah, I love that. So what I kind of feel like I can guess how you guys kind of de-stress and chillax when you're not doing things. I kind of feel like we're in the like a lot of y'all do like video games or y'all watch TV shows now. Is that kind of your thing to de-stress?
well, I haven't watched TV since like 6th grade, but I don't watch TV anymore.
Stop. Pause. Because what?
I don't even got cable.
I mean, that I understand. We didn't have cable in my world growing up
My
either.
parents got cable, but like I don't got cable. They took cable out of my room because I haven't used TV ever. They use Netflix. I mean, we got Hulu now. We got Disney Plus now. We got uh
So you watch shows, you just don't watch.
on TV.
Okay. Me and Stanley were like, wait a minute. Tell us what you do. Okay, so you watch stream. So what do you stream? Like what is your go-to show right now?
Nothing right now because I binged everything I was watching. I don't have anything right now. Like I watched all the Game of Thrones. That's crazy.
Yep, I did it.
I watched Euphoria. I had watched the Joker movie. I ain't never watched the Joker movie. The one when the one that he couldn't laugh. He laughed.
Mm-hmm.
He's stressful. I had watched that because I ain't never watched it.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was straight.
Are you talking about the one where it was like he was having mental health issues, really, and nobody was understanding? Nah, I felt a way about it. Like I felt like it shouldn't have been his origin story because they already established that his parents had cut his mouth when he was a kid.
Yeah.
I was a Batman buff, so I just felt like it was kind of off content, but it was decent. It really was. So you said Euphoria, you said Batman, so you've seen everything that you kind of want to see.
Nah, I'm still trying to find some stuff.
You'll like The Blacklist. That's gonna do you. You'd like that.
What's it on? Like what?
It's on Netflix, and I think it's like 20 seasons, so you'll have a good amount of time to enjoy. But it's a really good show. It's like some FBI guy. Basically, he comes in first episode. He's like, "Look, I know y'all been looking for me, but I got somebody y'all really need to be looking for. Like, I'm small fish in a big pond, baby. Let me put you on." And he kind of like takes them through this whole whatever, but he has a reason for doing it. Action packed from episode 1. I think it's a good watch. Absolutely. So. Yeah. Now we're gonna come back to you for it because I have a question for you guys about that. Stanley, what are you streaming right now? Like, what is your go-to show?
So I just finished the first season of Luke Cage. I really enjoyed that.
Wait. I thought they removed that from Netflix.
I've been watching it on Disney Plus. So
they got Daredevil on there.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
Luke Cage, is that the one with the Disney girl? Calling all the monsters. No, you know.
I don't know. It's a Marvel dude, but he got.
I was thinking of Black Lightning. Don't judge me. Okay, Luke Cage. Yeah, you're not. It's the age, y'all. You said Luke Cage. I'm looking it up. Luke Cage.
It's about like this guy, and he's in Harlem, and he's bulletproof. And
wait, you said it's on Disney?
Yeah, I'm watching Daredevil right now. Then I'm watching Luke Cage. Then I'm watching the Jessica one. Then I'm gonna watch what's called Defenders or whatever they group show is.
Defenders.
Is that what it is? Defenders? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I haven't seen the Jessica show, but I saw Daredevil, the first 2 seasons of Daredevil, and it was good.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because Josh, you brought up Euphoria. And a lot of y'all are watching Euphoria, right? And when I say y'all, I mean a lot of young people. I'm gonna be honest. The first episode had me so stressed, I never returned. I went through too many emotions. Like I cried and I don't even know what I was crying for, but I was like, I can't take this every week. And I love Zendaya. You know, we love Dale. We say that often. We do. And I wanted to support, but Stanley, have you ever seen an episode of Euphoria?
I've not watched Euphoria yet.
It's so like even the lighting of it's melancholy. It's how do you not feel stressed watching that show? Like you see me clutching my chain, y'all. It's true.
It is a stressful show. I would say that.
Like, how do you like? What about that calms you? That don't make you want to watch Powerpuff Girls at 3 a.m. to calm down? No.
No, I just like it. I like the plot. I like the story from each character. So I like it.
Yeah, Gen Z different. Cause I couldn't do it. I'm telling you, like I even tried the 13 Reasons Why when that was real popular. I didn't get past episode 2. Too stressful for me too. Like, why is no one happy? Y'all don't got, you know, like back in my day, we had nice, happy shows. Lizzie McGuire, The Proud Family, Boy Meets World, you know? Y'all shows is all drugs and pain and parties. And I'm like, nobody goes to class. Nobody eats a family dinner. Like, there's no happiness here. And y'all just soak it in. Shouts to y'all. Y'all be thugging it. Let's see here. So now, is social media still a way to unwind for you all?
Yeah. Whenever I want to laugh, I go on social media. I like laughing is a good stress reliever. I feel like so. Like whenever social media is funny, because you know it'd be times when it'd be boring. Like I remember TikTok, all the comments was story time and crop. Like,
yeah.
Like you know, so whenever social media is funny, like I feel like it's a good stress reliever. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Stanley? Is social media your stress reliever?
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I feel like I know for a lot of people, social media can be very toxic and like very damaging. But like for me, social media has been just kind of it's so different because like the things like that you see on social media that are funny, it's not like jokes about there. It's not like jokes about like school or whatever. It's just like genuinely funny stuff.
Okay. So social media does well for you. Is there ever a time where it kind of contributes to your burnout or where you're just kind of like, you know what? I'm actually good on this today?
Yeah, like I said, whenever it's like boring, like whenever it's like a repetitive trend that's not funny anymore, then it's like, I'm tired of this. Let me get off of this. But whenever it's like
Okay.
Yeah. For me, if it doesn't really like do that, but I guess if it did, I'd probably say like when I'm on social media instead of doing something that I have to do.
Yeah. When you know you scrolling on there and you supposed to be, yeah. That was me all week, y'all. I could have had this paper in, but I was just like, maybe 5 more minutes of this. Like just 5 more minutes of seeing why everybody's saying ASAP Rocky's about to leave Rihanna, you know, because I just need to know these things, you know? So I get it. I absolutely do. What's y'all's favorite TikTok trend right now? I'm not on the clock app. I'm on the picture app and the bird app because those are, you know, that's my generation thing. So what is y'all's favorite trend right now?
Ooh, it gotta be the why do British people do this? And then they show like a monster, and then it's like a hilarious British accent. It's just so funny. It's like basically, it's like why do British people put a circle on the ground but drive over the circle? Then they show like a picture of a random. It's like a random trade, like a random monster doing a fake British accent. Like at least we don't do this. It's hilarious.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm sure it's gonna come across the Instagram real soon. I'm gonna have to Google that one or ask one of my younger brothers to show me. Okay, Stanley, your favorite TikTok trend right now, or Reels, or whatever you're on. What's your favorite trend?
I don't really have like a favorite trend, but like my favorite like TikTok sound would be like the one where it's like, no, but it's not funny, is it? It's serious. It's that one because that one just makes me laugh all the time because it just makes me think of like all the stuff that we make jokes about that is just not funny at all. Like we'll make jokes about how we stayed up till like really late, and then it'll just be like dead silence because we're all like, this needs to stop.
It's really not funny though, is it? And it is a British accent too.
Yeah.
I like the one where it's like, I do not have time for this. I do not have time for you. Like, I just like, that's me when I'm having a moment of just like, girl, we so stressed, we just want to cry about it. I'm like, we don't have time for this though. There's things to do. So yeah. And that's actually what I say in traffic now. When people are, instead of yelling and fussing, I'm just like, you know what? I don't have time for this. And I'm steady flirting. I don't have time for you. As I go my 80 and a 25. I'm kidding. Do the speed limit, children.
You're not joking.
No, absolutely. I do the speed limit.
Right,
okay, so let's get into these questions and then we'll wind down and we'll play our very, very favorite game. So we talked about burnout. We talked about what like stress looks like for you all, which I'm happy to hear that y'all have like ways to cope with stress. I'm sad that at my big old age, 22, what's that? Huh? What's that? Come across the screen, Josh. Come on now. What's up? What's up? No, I'm ashamed to say that it took me too long to figure out how to handle stress, and I still sometimes don't handle it well. And it seems like you all have figured out what works for you, and it works in a way that y'all, during a time when you know the world was at its like most hectic, y'all were like, we having a good time out here in these streets. So that's what's up, and I'm definitely going to be taking cues. Audience, I hope you are too, because I mean, look how stress-free these young men look. They're going to look this way when they're 26, 27, 34. They're always going to look refreshed because they don't get stressed out here. Okay, I found the gray hair yesterday. Stress. All right. Josh, you got one more time. We're going to kick you off the call. All right, let's get into these questions. So what is not considered helpful advice when it comes to someone experiencing burnout? So let's say one of your best friends call you up and they like, Josh, Stanley, man, I got this going on and my cat's got a fish and there's 3 puppies and, you know, my car's doing this and I'm just so exhausted. What do I do? What is like the worst advice you could give them or the worst thing that you could say that'll just have them like, you know what? Friendship denied.
I'm kind of bad at giving advice. But something to make someone mad, like if I want to purposely make someone mad, I'm like, just do it, bro. Like,
yeah,
do it.
That's the one. That's the one. Because how dare you tell me just if I could just do it, it'd be done. I'm not Nike. You think I'm Jordan or somebody? Okay, I like that one. What about you, Stanley? What is the worst piece of advice you can give somebody who's stressed?
Josh literally just took what I was gonna say. Because like that is like the single worst thing that I could think of. Is like I'm telling you, I've got this, and this to do, and I just really don't feel like doing it. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do and how can I get it done later. And someone's like, why don't you just do it now? Yeah, if I was gonna do it now, I would be doing it, not talking to you. Like
I love that. So really it's like don't try to come over here helping me and you're not helping me. Yeah. I'm trying to think the worst advice. When I'm saying I'm tired and I'm burnt out, I don't like to hear, oh, it could be worse. Well, right now, this is the worst. This is the worst it's gonna get. Because right now, as you can see, the clean laundry is on the floor in the basket, okay? So this is the worst, you know? I've never liked the it could be worse thing. I think that always just sucks for me. And I also don't like to hear like, well, there's someone out here who has it worse. Well, I don't know them. Right now, I don't know them. They can't tell me their story. We're not focused on them. This is my moment. So I think that's the worst, absolute worst. But I think you all covered like good advice for young people, really. Like I really like how you all were just pretty much like find something fun to do. But really asking officially, what type of advice do you have for young people who are stressed or they're kind of burnt out?
Like I said earlier, it's okay to be behind, you know, like you don't have to, even though there are deadlines, you know, you got to meet the deadlines. You don't, you know, like, I guess the deadlines, you aren't going to be dead when you cross the line, you feel me? So
bars.
Yeah, the wordplay, but but yeah, you can be late sometimes, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, because it's like you can stop.
Yeah.
I feel like there's this like idea that like no matter what, you have to always be working, have to be working on this new project, new thing, new activity, new sport. You always got to be it's okay to not be doing anything. And I feel like I lose sight of that a lot. I feel like a lot of my friends kind of lose sight of that. Like, especially during the pandemic when there were all of those exercise trends and like master classes and learn a new skill. And it's just like, I'm okay with this right here.
Yeah. I like that you all drop gems, and I especially like the part where you're saying like it's okay. And I know parents, I know y'all watching this, like I know she ain't letting them tell our kids to miss deadlines, but let's really think about this, right? Let's really think about this. How many times parents, grandparents, guardians, whomever, and young people too, how many times have you like stressed out over something, stayed up all night, burned the midnight oil, stayed up till 2 a.m. and it turns out, oh, the teacher's like, oh, we're gonna have it due the next day, or oh, you get a, an extension or whatever. So it's like really honor that, honor yourself, honor your limits. And I really like it's okay to stop. It's okay to be like, I'm not feeling that today. It's okay to be like, I just don't want to today. I'm not in the mood. I don't feel like it. Because if y'all are forced to do it, I don't think you bring your best self to an experience, or you don't give your best. So I like the advice of it's okay to stop. My advice, do I have any advice that kind of goes? Because y'all kind of gave my advice. My advice, do something nice for yourself every week. Just one, like I tell all of my friends, I have a friend, we check in with each other like randomly, and I always tell her, do something nice for yourself this week. And when you do little stuff, it could be like getting your favorite ice cream. It could be maybe staying in bed an extra few minutes. It could be saying no to something, which is my favorite word. So once a week, my advice when you're experiencing burnout, do something nice for yourself. And it kind of reminds you to take a break, even if you don't think it's a break because you're still doing something. It's still a break from that mundaneness of having to always be on the go and meet a deadline and do. So if it's Netflix, or if it's a good book, if it's a cup of coffee, an extra cup of coffee. So yeah, my advice is do something nice for yourself. What about parents, y'all? We have parents whose kids experience this type of thing. What advice do you have for them? Like if they see their kid is burnt out and stressed, what advice can you give them on helping them with that?
Understand and respect what they're going through, even if it's been a long time since you've been in that situation. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like hold us accountable. Cause like I know when I'm okay, so like if I'm like not doing work, I won't do anything. And if I take a mental health day, mental health day 1 can stretch into mental health day 5 for me. So like sometimes I need help like saying, now it's time to get back going again. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important that parents give us a little space to like breathe, but at the same time, keep us on the right track.
Yeah, I agree with the keeping us on track, but at the same time, I feel like sometimes parents might go over the track, they might try to push a little too much, So when you're stressed, if you get pushed too much, it's going to add on to the stress. I feel like knowing that you're there to like, I guess, keep them in track, but not like suffocate them,
Yeah. So like guide along, but don't push. Yeah. I like both of those. I really do. I would just say, and it ties into what you both said, really just listen, because you all are intelligent to the point where y'all could, my niece literally came in here, she's like, TT, check my forehead, headache. I'm like, headache? You're 2. Like, what? But she said it. And what it came out to be was her rubber bands were too tight, but she understood, you know what I'm saying, that something wasn't right. So you all are intelligent enough as a generation to be able to say, like, something is bothering me. So parents, listen. It isn't always that they just have an attitude, or they're just, shutting y'all off, or they're just, closed off. Like something, what's going on? If you notice like your child's behavior is a little bit different than what it normally is, do a check-in. Hey, do you want to talk about something? Okay, if you don't, the lines of communication are open. And like Stanley said, kind of pay attention to where, like, if they do take a day, then kind of get them back on track. It really is just about paying attention to that particular individual and what their needs are. So yeah, because I have days where I don't get out of bed. My mom is just like, okay, cool, I'll let you be. And then around day 4, she's like, ma'am, you can't keep rewashing these clothes. You just can't do it. We don't have enough detergent. Stop it. So yeah. All right, y'all. 20 seconds or less. This is the part of the game where Stanley pretends to be better than me at the game, even though I've been losing the last 3 episodes. I really have not won a game this season. That is a shame. So Josh, you're new to this. we true to this, so we're gonna tell you how this goes. Basically, in 20 seconds or less, you have to describe something. Okay. It sounds easy, but when that clock gets to going, it's not as easy as it seems. So in 20 seconds or less, you are going to describe. Do you think we should give him an easy one, or should we make him do a song, Stanley?
Easy.
Easy? We'll take it easy on Josh. 20 seconds or less, Josh. You need to describe what peace looks like to you without using your normal go-tos. Okay, so you can't do video games and you can't do Netflix. What does peace look like to Josh? In 3, 2, 1.
Like a forest, right? It's quiet. I'm walking around in the forest. Maybe I'm hunting. I don't know. Maybe I'm hunting, looking for some rabbits or something. And just in the forest and it's quiet. You gotta be quiet.
In the forest?
In the forest.
You ain't seen near horror movie, have you? You ain't seen a single one.
It's a peaceful forest.
Oh, okay, like Adventure Time. Come along with me. Okay. Because when the minute you said forest, I was like, I know what you did last summer. Jeepers Creepers, Chainsaw Massacre. Okay, and hunting rabbits.
Yeah.
You might be my grandfather's true grandson, because that was his idea of peace too, hunting rabbits.
Right.
All right, we'll take it. Forest, hunting rabbits, it's got to be quiet. Stanley, in 20 seconds or less, you are going to describe your idea of peace, but you can't use your normal go-tos. Ready, set, go.
Okay, so I'm sitting at like my computer. I've just finished like a massive paper, and I'm closing all of the tabs. And I'm turning the computer off, and I get on the couch, and I put on my favorite show, and I just don't do anything.
Sir, give this man a golden car. Like, give him the golden ticket, because yes, especially that closing all the tabs part.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Mic drop king on it, because that, oh yeah. Especially when you get to that last tab, Stanley, we're here, man. I think that's the only time you want to go back and read your paper, because you're like, it's done now. Like, we can go back and enjoy this. Yeah. That's good. Okay. Y'all got some stuff. I really have to think about this. 20 seconds or less. I have to decide things about any of my own. This is hard, because for me it is just laying in bed all day. So if I were to describe peace, it would be a car trip, a road trip where I'm in control of the ox and it's just me and all the windows are down and it's some nice weather. Yeah, I have road rage, but I really like to drive. Like, I do. I like road trips. Isn't that wild? That's insane, right? That's insane. It's crazy, but no, I do. If I'm able to be in control of the music and all the windows are down while I'm on the freeway, I'm good. I'm good. That's
on the road.
Yeah, I don't even care about them. I'll even sit in traffic happily, as long as the windows, literally, I don't want air conditioning on. Like, I want the windows down, let my music be playing, whatever I choose it to be, and I'm good. Like, when I take those 9-hour drives home by myself, I'm like, yeah, this works for me. I don't even care about Atlanta traffic. I don't care when I get in the mountains and the radio goes out. I'm like, it's just me in the car. Yeah, especially at nighttime. Oh, I love it. Yeah, that's me. All right, y'all. So we're gonna wrap this thing up, y'all. This is our last thing for our host, our co-host, our host and me as the moderator. I just like to say both of those because, whatevs. Our good note, we are going to do a check-in. Josh and Stanley, we had these conversations. We talked about burnout. We talked about stress, and y'all actually turned it into something different, because we were gonna, I thought it was gonna be more serious, more heavy, but you guys turned it into a lesson, really. Y'all taught us how to deal with stress. Like, y'all really cured stress for me. I feel like I will never be stressed again, and I thank y'all for that. So how do you all feel about the conversation? What is one word to describe how you feel right now after we had this conversation?
Unstressed.
Period. Yeah.
Relaxed.
Yeah. I feel informed. I really do. Like, y'all have opened up my eyes. I feel like the stress of the week don't even matter. Like I told you, I had a paper due tonight. I'm ready to get on it. Like, let's do this. Let's knock out these work. Like, that's what's like, it really does feel like a big relief. So I appreciate y'all joining this conversation. Audience, you already know, put your word in the chat. You know, it was a good time for me. This felt like a therapy session almost. I didn't have to pay $150 to sit on the couch and won't he do it. So audience, drop your word in the chat. And then of course, drop your ideal vacation. Like drop your perfect piece, what that looks like to you that's not your normal go-to, so we can check it out. We can look at it. We can talk about it. Of course, always, you know, I have to thank the YWCA Central Alabama, because without them, we wouldn't be doing this. I have to thank the YWCA Center, where my team is. Miss Latasha J. Humphrey, thank you so much, just for giving us the platform, allowing us the space to do this. To Jalen Wilson, who's our wonderful case manager. She's always shooting ideas with me and telling me when I sound like I'm too old and I need to switch up the lingo, so I appreciate that. Okay, Josh said shout out crew. Okay. Period. Of course, shout out Stanley and Josh. Thank y'all for jumping on here. Stanley, we do this every month and it gets better and better and better. Josh, thank you so much for accepting the invitation and bringing like your chill vibe to it. It's always great to have new mindsets on here. We got to have you back, friend, because I feel like you cured stress. So I can only imagine what you and the Mic Drop King will do next time. So Ice Cube and the Mic Drop King, we might just have to have them return for another combo, y'all. Okay, tell me what you think. And then of course to the IT team, thank you so much for, you know, showing us how to work these Zoom things, because you know we never know sometimes. We appreciate you all. And of course the audience, y'all are the bomb. That's sign language, I think. I've been practicing. Josh, what's up?
Oh no, my bad.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, I saw you on mute. I thought you were about to shout out your moms or something. I didn't know what was going to happen.
Shout mom.
Shout out to your mom. Stanley, go ahead. Shout out mom.
Shout out to my mom and her mom and my dad. And honestly, all the people that have supported me, like just in general, like thanks to y'all.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Boom. Because sometimes the shout outs are good. Sometimes people need their flowers. Absolutely. So my good sis, my doll, my queen, to you too. Here you go, your flowers. I love you. You already know that though. So yeah, thank you so much, audience, for tuning in. Guess what? We'll be back next month with another episode of That's why 2K Gen Z Has the Floor, season 2. Peace.